Welcome everyone to the council meeting of the 29th of September 2021. We acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land and pay respect to their elders and the elders from other communities who may be here today. We also acknowledge all other people who have contributed to the rich diversity of this country. Councillors, I'll have you upstanding to the statement of witness, please. I declare
that the council will undertake on every occasion to carry out my duties in the best interest of the community, and that my conduct shall maintain standards of council so that I may faithfully represent and uphold the trust placed in the council by the people of Glenelg and future. Well done.
Thank you, councillors. I remind you that this committee by this council meeting is conducted in accordance with the Local Government Act of 2020 and the Benalla Rural City Governance Rules of 2020. The meeting is recorded and will be live streamed on our YouTube channel. Meeting behaviour is expected to be exemplary, as it always is. Under the 2020 Local Government Act, councillor who must declare a conflict of interest now if they have a conflict in any of the agenda items. So does anyone have any conflicts? There. No? Do you have any apologies? No. Question time. Petition. Reports by officers. Authorisation and signing and sealing of documents. Agenda item number 9 is the 2021 audited financial statement. Kathy Fitzpatrick.
Mr. Mayor, I'm happy to present the audited financial statement to the council tonight. A detailed report is outlined on page 7 and 8 of the agenda, but I just wanted to take a moment to talk about the highlights for 2021 and the fact that we had an income statement of $37.7 million worth of revenue. I wanted to take the time to thank our community and our ratepayers for taking on the challenge of the COVID-19 and managing to pay their rates, their user fees, and contribute towards the operation of Benalla Rural City Council during a very complicated year. We were fortunate enough in 2021 to receive $13.3 million worth of grant funds, which is $3.1 million more than we received in the prior year. And I would also like to recognise all of the government partners that have assisted us with grant funds to get our community going and keep it going in that 12 months. We had a good year for capital projects in the end. 5.9 million spent on capital projects, which was a very challenging year to deliver capital programs with the COVID restrictions. I'm happy to say that overall the result was a pleasing result. We came out with a surplus, again, often contributed to by the grant funding that we received, but we'll take it when we can get it, and we do like a surplus. I would also like to thank the staff for operating throughout the year in a very compliant governance manner. We were lucky enough to receive a very good audit report this year, and it was something that we focused on during the year with the staff working in a different way, that we ensure that we are compliant with all the rules and regulations and still ensure that there is a transparency to our transactions. And I'm happy to say that our audit report was very low issues raised, and that was a credit to all of our staff and also to our contractors who continue to provide quality invoices and follow through with purchase orders and all of those tricky things that can be hard in a COVID environment. So just a big thank you to everyone, and I'm really pleased to present this report to you tonight.
Thank you. Are there any questions of Kathy on that report? Councillor Generato.
Thank you, Chair. Kathy, first of all, congratulations getting the report done, and was a very good audit comment on the last audit and finance committee meeting. I know how hard it is at this time, especially with the restrictions and doing remote audits. I have a question from page 10 of the report, performance against budget, contributions monetary, which is $230,000 positive variance to the budget, which is again good. Could you explain that that contribution? It says contributions towards community projects, but I'm interested to know where it's coming from and what the source of those contributions are. Thank you.
Okay, so 3 point. So you are to contributions monetary or the contributions non-monetary as outlined in page 4 of the financial statement, sorry.
Thank you, Chair, through you, contributions monetary.
Right. So if we go, I can't off the top of my head tell you the contributions monetary, but I am thinking that it's the contribution that the Friends of the Gallery made towards a number of feasibility studies, and also the Friends of the Library contributed towards a number of items that I think you bought new shelves over in the library, just off the top of my head. So we also received some money from the RA, I think it was the RACB, off the top of my head again, towards some exhibitions that we were sponsored, which aren't grants, they're contributions because they're not a government-funded organisation. So we picked up a number of additional items. They're not actually outlined specifically in that note contributions. It does talk about the prior year's contributions we received, but the art collections also we received 54,000. We've got 4 or 5 different items included in the collection, which were kindly gifted to us, and we also were very kindly gifted the cost of assessing those items to include the value of them from the valuer who undertakes work for us without billing us. So we are very fortunate in the contributions on monetary area as well. Sorry, just like Fiona.
Yeah, I think that's enough. Thank you, Kathy. That's clear.
Is there any other questions? Yes, Councillor Generator.
Thank you, Chair. Through you again, one more question from page 23. The provisions note 5.5. There's no additional provisions for landfill restoration this year. Does that mean we will have a higher provision this year, next year, or the year after? Or what caused that there's no provision? Because last year I think we had a 1.3 million provisions. Thanks.
The provision is set out by a very complicated accounting standard, and it is impacted by the 30 years of managing the aftercare at the landfill. In the current, in the 2021 year, the rates that impact those provisions were actually positive, and it's the first time it's happened to me in 30 years that we've actually reduced the amount that we had to pay across landfill provision because the projections on have been impacted so heavily by the rates. Do I think that will happen next year? I'd love to know what's going to happen with the rates for the long-term money market. And it is unusual for that to happen, but that's the process that we set out. We have to follow the 10-year rates that we use for our long service and annual leave provisions, and then we project on to the next 20 as well. So trying to project, I think we do the 43-year projection for all of our landfill. The movement from year to year, I think many of the members in the chamber who have been here for a number of years have seen that provision go up and down because of the rates. So I don't know if that will go up next year, but my bet is it might. But again, we are tied in by standards, and we just have to apply as we do for our long service leave entitlements as well.
Thank you. Are there any other questions of Kathy? Councillor Generato.
Thank you, Kathy, for that detailed explanation. And moving on to the performance statement, the page 12 and 13 of that performance statement, especially page 13, where the indebtedness and asset renewal upgrade. We were in the medium risk category as per the WAGO risk evaluation criteria, and you can see we are moving into the high risk in the next financial year in indebtedness as per the forecast. And the asset renewal doesn't look like we are going to reach 1, which again means we are high risk. Any comments around that or any actions that we need to consider in our long-term financial plan as well? Thank you.
Mr. Mayor. In the 5 years I've been here, we've focused on the provision for landfill rehabilitation and the challenge that we have to address the legacy problems that we have out at the landfill. I believe we're moving towards trying to define exactly what that liability is and how we can address it as effectively as we can. That will greatly influence the forecast figures. At the moment, we're using the GHD report, which was our trusted advisor on the landfill when we did the master plan. And through the construction of cell 3, and now we're calling it cell 3A and cell 3B, is an adjusted approach to address some of the issues out there. And hopefully, with EPA's assessment of the rehabilitation requirements for the previous cells, we'll be able to move forward. At the moment, all these figures are based on our budget, which we gave a commitment that we would stay with the GHD report and all of the projected expenditures over the next 5 years. But throughout the next 12 months, I do believe there might be some movement on what we believe the long-term plan is. So I'm really looking forward to a review of the master plan. I'm not sure the CEO would like to add to that, but I believe that we've put forward what we have to at the moment. And whilst it's not reducing, I really hope that over the next 12 months that we will be able to project on some better figures that will result in a better return for our loans and borrowings and our indebtedness. Because every time we move a new cell, it costs more and we have to rehabilitate it, and the circle just goes on.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy.
Any other questions for Kathy? If not, the recommendations on page 9, the two-part recommendation. I'd like to move that. Councillor King, second Councillor Generetno. Councillor King.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Only to acknowledge the work of Kathy and her team and that of the leadership of the CEO in regards to putting this report together. To see that amount of grant funding received to the council is a great acknowledgement of the work of our team, and again through the leadership of our CEO to go out and get that funding, and to see projects like the art gallery, $3 million, close to $1 million for the Visitor Information Centre redevelopment. That's just a great achievement by the people that work in this building. So a big congratulations to the team, and also the audit findings and how that came to be in a real positive position it's put council in. So just a really good acknowledgement of this report. Council's in good hands, and it's great to see that we've got a plan moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor King. Councillor Generetno.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, especially congratulate the finance team and Kathy's team, Robert and Dom. I'm sure behind the scenes you have provided guidance to this. Well done, getting a good audit occurring at the meeting, and as well as getting the reports in time to meet the deadlines in this tough time. That's a great achievement. Looking at the finance performance measures, I think Kathy's team has done a great job again, as per the auditors, that to get the numbers together, because this is a new dashboard developed. And I think now the figures are in front of us as the council to make some challenging decisions for the next few years, especially looking at concerning numbers as indebtedness and asset renewal, where we are in the high risk areas, need to move on. And we have decisions to make to bring it back to where we should be. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Anyone else like to speak? Councillor Firth.
Yeah, through the chair, I'd just like to state how it's my 9th year on council, of Benalla City Council, and I've been through quite a few, 9, I guess, budgets. It's not just the work that Kathy's team and Dom's team's done, as far as I'm concerned. It's got to do with having a vision, seeing a problem, and looking to find a better result than we've ever had before. And I think this one, we've all said who we are thankful for, and we do thank everybody considered. But it's the team that is giving us something to really look forward and take Benalla to that next step. And I'm very proud to be here and see it happening. And let's hope it happens even quicker. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Firth. Would anyone else like to speak? Councillor Davis?
Thank you. I think the accolades have been said tonight. I'll just sum up by saying, we're very grateful that we have a finance team and management team. And I think we owe a lot to our CEO and to our management team that have, as Councillor Firth said, the vision moving forward. I've been in council a little bit longer than Councillor Firth. And when I came to council, we just emerged a couple of years before with Delatite, with Mansfield. I don't even think we had a bank account. Our place was in disarray, and it took the previous CEO 10 years to get it back to where it was. Then we ran into this landfill, which I congratulate today's CEO and Kathy, because they've taken that on the chin. It's cost millions and millions of dollars. And I expect, except tonight when you go through there, that our indebtedness is high, and there's not a lot of fat in their budget. There's not going to be a lot of fat in their budget for the next couple of years. The 10-year plan gives us a vision of where we can move forward. So I'm not going to say any more, but thanks to the team, I really respect, and the councillors around me too. They've got the vision to move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Davis. Anyone else like to speak? If not, all those in favour? Carried. Thank you. Agenda item number 10, reports by councillors. Reports.
I wish.
If not, I have one. Yes, Councillor O'Brien.
Through you, Mr. Chair, yes, just the ARTC working committee that Councillor King and I attended just a couple of weeks ago, where the ARTC had put up 3 suggestions on the realignment of the changes to be made for the double-decker freight trains coming through. We're quite pleased that the line realignment is the go, rather than the overhead option. And that's now out for the community to comment on. So hopefully everybody's doing that, having their say. ARTC are listening. And I think the working committee's been terrific. Council's been terrific with backing this. They've always said that they've wanted what is the best outcome for the community. So I think fingers crossed it all goes through, and we'll get what we want, and it'll be wonderful for the future. Thank you. And it's been, just to say, it's been really great to be part of that community. Yes. Thank you.
Councillor O'Brien. Any other reports? If not, I have a report on the Benalla Water Tower Preservation Group, which is a group I've spoken about before, which is attempting to resurrect the old Benalla Water Tower area, and they applied for the Living Heritage grants, which were opened earlier this year, and they've been successful in getting a grant for $44,000, which will allow them to make or to develop a management conservation document. And also there's some issues with the old steel 1870 water tower, which is built on top of the blacksmith shop. There's basalt caps on top of the brick piers that the tank sits on, and they're cracking. So we've had a heritage builder come and have a look, and to establish why they're cracking, he needs to disassemble one of the piers. So it'll mean removing the basalt top, deconstructing the bricks and having a look. And his feeling is that it's possibly rust on the wrought iron, which is expanding and breaking away the basalt. So if that's the case, they need to be treated, or if it's not the case, it could be the fact that they were originally designed to have water in them, which meant weight. Now they're empty, so maybe some movement in wind and so forth might be causing the cracking. So that will result in fixing that problem one way or the other. And in the $44,000, the roof, which is an old cast iron roof on the blacksmith shop, will be repaired too. So it'll get it one step closer to being a tourist attraction, which is available as a hands-on blacksmith shop and carpenter shop, and an area that we can go and have a look at and encourage tourism. So it's a great opportunity. If there's no other reports, the recommendation is the report be noted. Moved by Councillor Davis, seconded by Councillor King. Let's speak, Councillor Davis. Councillor King. Anyone else? All those in favour? That's carried. Notices of motion. Nil. Petition of motion nil. Urgent business. Okay, if it's the case, I declare the meeting closed. That's 22. Thank you.